welcome to episode 2 of The Fighter's Insight. Today we're going to be chatting about Clan Wars 40, which is going to be taking place on Sunday, March 21st. This matchup is in the lightweight division between former title challenger Jordan Denning versus Aaron McDonald. Two good guys here now. These are explosive, good strikers. What do you reckon?
Man, what can we say? First things first, you'd say striker first grappler, but man, Aaron brings the hype with him. Talking about Chad or wanting to fight for the lightweight belt, wanting to fight for the welterweight belt. That man seems to want every fight. He fought in his last fight against one of our own, Tony Dolan, in a highly anticipated fight at the time. Yeah. And from that fight, we've seen that takedown defense worked very well from his get-ups were very good. Yeah. And I just like the evolution that he's going through in martial arts now.
What team is it?
He fights out of Team Torres now.
Yeah,
he used to fight from
EFR.
EFR, yeah. Another very good gym.
Yeah.
You know more about them than I would.
Yeah, they're the old school Irish MMA gym, EFR. Yeah. Shout out to all them guys from EFR gym.
Yeah, and he came from there and now he's in Team Torres. Bet Tony Dolan 3-0 as a professional martial artist. Man, this fight's going to be interesting because Dara Daniels as well from Coopers, he's a good striker and he has a few more amateur fights than Aaron has, but I'm going to look at Aaron as in terms of the more dominant striker. It's like you've seen the calmness in his fights and you've seen the skill and the composure in his striking. And even more than that, if you have time, listen to any of his podcasts because he is a good laugh.
He's a laugh, What do you think of Jordan Denning now? What do you think Jordan should do?
Jordan Denning, I honestly think that he comes from a good gym, Cooper's MMA. I think he should strike first, showcase, because he's striking from what I've seen is unorthodox, to say the least.
He's very explosive. He has knockout power, so it's gonna be good.
Fish is ground and pound as well, so I think that he should really mix up the ranges. Is like Aaron is the more talented striker, but I think that McDonald has more grappling.
Yeah.
Maybe Jordan
Denning,
Denning has more grappling experience, and I think that he should play into that game and show Aaron that it's MMA. And Tony tried to do that in his fight. Credit to Aaron, got back up in the second round, won by knockout. So it's going to be an interesting fight. It's like, is it going to be another Aaron knockout or is it going to be a 3-round war? What do you think?
Yeah, I think Jordan is a very explosive guy, so you have to respect power, and but Aaron seems like he likes to fight. He's got, like, in the fight versus Tony, it was very competitive. Tony took him down quite easily, but couldn't keep him down. So his cage get-ups were pretty good,
fundamentally clean,
and he was mentally very tough in that fight. Tony caught him with some stuff, and he just, he was like, "Bring it, let's go." It'll be, I think, Jordan Denning has more experience in the striking department. He's a good striker. Yeah. And
more MMA experience in general.
More MMA. Yeah, he's I seen him in the IAMA grappling.
He fought very well that day.
Yeah, he has got good grappling from what I've seen of him as well. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. I think it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I think both of them are more strikers. So I can't really say who's gonna be better on the ground. So I don't know. I think striking wise, I see that Jordan Denning has the power. But Aaron McDonald he's tough and he's game, he's good timing, and he's good endurance. Like, Tony took him down. That was quite a war of attrition to try and get back up because Tony Dolan, Jashvili,
Shout out
Georgian
Tony.
my Georgian brother. Yeah. So Tony's a beast, man, and Tony struggled to keep him down. So that's
big credit to Aaron.
Big credit to Aaron, yeah. So anyway, anything more?
No, we said it all there. Is like they're both really beginning their MMA journey.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see Aaron fight one more time maybe against a more grappler.
Yeah.
After this fight. And then who knows? Fight for the belt.
Yeah, this could be like a title eliminator fight for that lightweight title.
It looks like it anyway. It looks like it. Or the welterweight fight is like Aaron wasn't afraid to fight Craven Scrivens up at welterweight either. He was calling for all the fights.
Yeah.
He was calling for them all. So it's like it's going to be interesting to see where he's going to go after this. Yeah.
Hit both guys up on Instagram and Facebook. Give them a follow. And click the pay-per-view link in their bio. Next matchup is a rematch for the Clan Wars Bantamweight Championship. Both these guys fought last time on Clan Wars 38 for the Clan Wars Super Bantamweight Championship in a very closely contested match. A grind of a match. It's Carl McConway versus Maxim Zamerkin. What can I say about this one? This is the first fight was a great fight.
It was a great fight, and honestly I thought the result was the right one. Like Maximum in the first round, he picked Carl off, kept using his distance very well. And then you looked at the second round then where that was the tight round.
Close,
Yeah, it's like Maximum got a takedown or two in it in the second round. But Carl came back strong in the end of it and the third round. But more than anything, I think that this fight is going to be a lot different this time because obviously the two of them has faced each other before, and we've seen Carl's gas tank in the third brought him to the end of this fight, thinking that in the Maximum's camp that cardio is going to be the big difference in this fight. Like more than anything, I think that it's not going to be a striker versus grappler match because we see Maximum with his purple belt jiu-jitsu, he's not afraid to get it to the ground either.
Both of them are good grapplers,
But the key to this fight is the cardio. Is like Maximum may have the distance and all that, but Carl will take a bang if he has to get in there.
The Quiet Man is a scary man. That man is just
as they all say,
non-stop. Like you have to kill him to put him away.
You have to watch out for the quiet man.
It's gonna be I'm really looking forward to this one. I can't give too much away, but they both know each other now, and there's a lot of things that Carl knows himself. Chatting to Carl, there's a lot of things that we know that he did wrong in the last fight.
And I'm sure that there's a lot that Maximum would know that he can come back to this fight. And
they'll be looking at openings as well. And Maxim is a very long, very big bantamweight. And
his coach was telling me he wants to go down to flyweight. What's your thoughts on that?
I wouldn't advise that. I think he's
a big boy. I met him. He's taller than me.
He's a big guy.
He is a big guy.
So it's gonna be very good now. Carl McConway is. He's not the biggest bantamweight. He's not small either for bantam, but he's a big flyweight, and we all know him. He was a Clan Wars flyweight champion. And now he's the Clan Wars bantamweight champion.
And more than that, he's a big heart.
Oh, you can't.
You can't take the dog out of him.
He's just non-stop. There ain't no stopping him unless you put him out.
And has anyone ever knocked him out? I don't. No. Connemara blood, hey. They made it something else. We had Stephen Mullen fighting for the Clan Wars welterweight belt before against he's fighting on the Clan Wars 40 card. What's his name again?
The Bellator guy.
Sorry about that, but them lads can take a lot of punches.
Connemara, man, tough guys.
Oh man, out in the sticks. Made it something else, hey.
Yeah, man. So give both these guys a follow on Instagram and support them by clicking their pay-per-view link, which will be in their bio on Instagram. Give them a follow and tune in to Clan Wars. This will be a serious match.
fight we're going to be breaking down today is the featherweight bout between Ryan Shelley against Alexander Yakov. Ben, knowing Ryan Shelley has an extremely good striking background, world champion in Taekwondo, how do you feel like he's going to deal in this fight? Do you think he's going to go to the wrestling route, as we know Alexander has good striking too, or do you feel it's going to be a striking fight? Or do you think Alexander is going to take Ryan down?
Yeah, I think it's gonna. I think we'll see different. It's MMA. I think we're gonna see different ranges of fighting in this. I don't think it's just gonna be striking, but I do think it will be a lot of striking in this match.
Yeah.
We'll see how the striking goes. You know, Alexander Yakov has a lot of experience in K1 as well.
Yeah.
Adam Shelley, as you say, is a Taekwondo fighter, but kickboxing as well, and I think he's fought K1 as well. But he's more of that Taekwondo style, and Yakov has the leg kicks aspect of it. So yeah, I think they're going to test each other on the feet and see who's the better striker. Similar to Adam's last fight on Clan Wars.
Yeah.
And like both them lads were good strikers, and I think it was a tight fight up on the feet at that point, and then they started wrestling then, and the fight went to the ground. He won by rear naked choke, I think it was. So yeah, I think it's going to be a similar type of a fight. I think both lads are going to test each other on the feet, and depending on how it's going for either one of them, I feel that then they will close the distance and try and,
if you look at
take the fight to the ground.
If you look at their amateur backgrounds, you'd think that this complete mismatch. Given Alexander all of the respect in the world because he fought the best of the best at amateur, he has a lot of losses. While Ryan, on the other hand, hadn't that much amateur experience, but he has a lot of wins. So going into pro, how do you think that Alexander will cope, knowing that amateur he may have lost a lot, but being pro, do you feel like it'll be a clean slate, start again, or do you think that will be playing on his mind going into the fight?
I think it'll be a clean slate. I think the fact that he's still here shows what kind of a person he is.
So when I look up in the amateur ranks anyway, for sure.
Like somebody who doesn't quit and keeps going, keeps learning. And I've seen that he's learning. If you look at his fights, he might have lost fights, but you see improvements, and that's what I'm looking at. If I'm a coach and I get offered a fighter for one of my students, I look at I don't just take losses as...
Reminds me of my record a bit.
Yeah, I look at their fights and I see how they've improved. Are they improving? And I see that in Alexander Yakov. He fought one of our team members, Sebastian Zuster, in K1, and Alexander has a lot of K1 fights, and that was a tough fight for the Cage Legacy kickboxing. I think it was like 67 kg belt.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and that was a war of a fight with Seb. Seb was unlucky to lose on that day. I thought he did enough to win, but good fight. So. Yeah, I don't underestimate him. I think he's very big as well. He's a big featherweight. Is featherweight they're fighting?
Yeah, featherweight.
So I think he's a very big featherweight, and this is pro rules again. I think he's under compound.
Yeah, team
martial
compound.
arts.
Like Solomon would have. K1 there as well.
Very good team. Good teachers in that club. And Solomon came from there as well.
Yeah, his striking background, he strikes for that club.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great fight. I can't wait to see it, and best of luck to both fighters. Give them a follow on their Instagram and Facebook pages. Click the pay-per-view link in their Instagram bio.
Is the flyweight women's professional fight between Indra Davis versus Dee Bagley. This is the first pro fight on Clan Wars history. So Ben, what do you think Dee's going to have to do in this fight?
I'm not going to be giving away too much tactics now, but we know Dee has a long martial arts pedigree. She's been doing kickboxing, karate, kickboxing since she was a kid. So, yeah, I think she's, from looking at her last fight, I think she's going to be looking to strike more with Indra. But she is a good wrestler as well. She comes originally from Cork MMA under the Maguire brothers, and they're very good.
Shout out to MMA Cork.
Yeah, shout out to MMA Cork. The Maguire brothers are very good up against the cage. Their cage work is some of the best in Ireland. So from what I've seen of Dee, she's very good up against the cage. She's a strong girl, but we know about Indra as well. Yeah. Indra is very strong, good grappler.
Grappling background is from what we've seen in Indra's fight, it's very fundamental striking. He was looking for that power hand all the time. Again, against a very good Emma McGlynn. Yeah. So it's what I liked about that fight is Indra got her debut against a high quality opponent in
good
Emma.
Striker, yeah.
It's just unfortunate that they couldn't have got any more amateur fights in the meantime.
Yeah.
So this is really a great first fight on the women's pro in Clan Wars history, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the first ever female professional fight on Clan Wars. So it's going to be great. Indra's been there watching all the lads from Shaolin MMA fighting on Clan Wars, and she's wanted that, but it's very hard to get female matchups. So this is a great one. Yeah. We couldn't let it fly. When we heard that they were looking to match up on a professional flyweight for Clan Wars, we were like, yep, go for it.
And Indra's age as well is why not?
Yeah.
It's there's nothing to lose here.
Yeah.
It's a good pro fight. It's Dee. She may have one loss on her pro fight, but
she's a good fighter.
Don't shut her down. It's she fought in the IMAPs. She fought numerous amateur fights against Roja Walsh.
Yeah.
And Roja Walsh is one of the best grapplers in Ireland.
Yeah.
And I think Dee has the experience in this fight, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see where the fight will go, whether it'll go under Mr. Kavanagh's plan with Dee, or will Indra get it. But the fact is a fight, and I can't wait to see how the fight is going to go.
Yeah, it's going to be brilliant. So check out both girls on their Instagram pages, give them a follow, and click that link in their Instagram bios so they can make some money off the pay-per-view.
And to support women's MMA.
The matchup is in the Clan Wars welterweight division, professional division, between Jamison Castro versus Ian Cochlin. This is a typical striker versus grappler matchup. Jamison Castro has a background in Muay Thai and K1, very aggressive striker. Ian Cochlin is a black belt in BJJ and a black belt in Judo. He used to train Jiu-Jitsu under Jorge Santos, and he trained MMA at Team Rayano. And now he's fighting under Team Shaolin MMA with us in Galway, and it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, it's going to be a great fight. Striker versus grappler, and what I'm fascinated about, because I never met the gentleman yet, is to see the evolution that he's going to make from Team Shaolin to Team Rhino, because as we know, Team Rhino, they're a top gym. They are a top gym in Irish MMA, and this fight is going to be a very interesting fight, and to say the least, because Ian, they say, he's a black belt in Judo, he's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, but he's improving his striking every day, and training with the likes of Andreas Bender, Craven Scrivens, Colin Farr, all these, Gerald. We have a lot of big welterweights in the gym as well, and wide range of different styles of fighting and all that. So it's going to be very interesting to see where this fight goes. And
shout out to those teams that he comes from, Jorge Santos and Team Rhino. Ian moved to Galway and he hit us a message there, and I said, of course, we welcome everybody. And I've basically I've looked at his all-round game, and we're just trying to make the improvements where it's necessary. So I can't wait to see him implement these improvements in this fight. We know Janderson is a very good K1 fighter. He's moving up in weight now, and but I've seen him and he looks like he's strong. He's put on good muscle mass and he's an aggressive striker. Is Janderson Castro, he's explosive. We'll say that. And so it's going to be a very explosive matchup. You know, it's going to be a very it's very tactical. So we can't wait for this one. Give both lads a follow on their Instagram and Facebook pages and hit the link in their bio for their pay-per-view links. Next matchup is a professional featherweight bout between Michel de Silva versus Aaron Daniels.
Man, this is one for the grappling. What can we say is Aaron Daniels, all his finishes were by submission, if I'm right, and Michel, a high level black belt in his own right, head ESJJ trainer in Connacht under Hugo Borin and in Brazil, isn't it? What's his name?
Eduardo Santoro
as well in Brazil. And I think that this fight is one for the grappling lovers. It's you're going to see Michel has been working on his striking, but you can't not look at the bread and butter of what he's grown up doing since he was a child. And Aaron Daniels, he won all his fights by submission, so it's he's no joke on the ground either.
Both were similar builds, quite stocky featherweights. Built like wrestlers, like grapplers. But Aaron Daniels comes from that karate background. You know, so he has that side-on kind of stance. He does throw a good leg kick as well.
He's good at boxing. He's good at angles and that.
He's good at controlling distance. So, and Michel, we know, is just a beast. You know, this man comes from Sao Paulo.
10 kilos heavier than him now, and he's still mauling me.
He's a beast, and Michel is a avid martial arts fan. He's like me. He lives martial arts, and he loves striking. He loves all aspects of martial arts. His grappling is his bread and butter, as Park says. But this man, from the day that he came and walked into Shaolin MMA, he has been to every class. Every class I teach, he's there and he's analyzing. He's a true martial artist. And
when he took his first pro fight, he was only striking for a year, I believe.
He showed in that fight against
Dylan Douglas.
He showed in that fight.
Experienced amateur in his own right.
Very similar type of style as well. You know, Dylan has a lot of submissions on his record. Good striker, but a good wrestler as well. 20 amateur fights. So Michel showed in that fight. He didn't just win the fight on the ground. He dished out some punishment on the feet. So
his striking was very fundamental, but it suited the grappling. I just can't wait to see the improvements in another year of learning under Ben and the rest of Shaolin, is to see how good of Michel's striking has he got, and could he mix it into the octagon. And more than anything with Aaron is what's Aaron's game plan here. Is he's a good grappler in his own right too, or is he gonna want to strike? Is as Ben was saying, is pick where your opponent's weakest.
He's very well rounded, Aaron.
So it's gonna be hard to figure that out. So can't wait to see the chess being played, because Aaron will probably think about striking at the start from looking back at Michel's last fight. It looked like Michel was beginning his striking journey, but it's going to be a very good fight. That's all I gotta say.
And Michel couldn't get an amateur fight as well, so he had no amateur MMA experience.
And that's what I think will come to play here. Is Aaron is making his pro debut too, but Michel has already fought pro. And there's a difference between 4-ounce gloves and throwing elbows on the ground. It's a different game. So how do you think Aaron is going to deal with that mentally, knowing that Michel is a high level black belt and it's not his pro debut either?
Well, I'm not going to tell you what I think, because I don't want to give too much away, but all I can say about these two is I respect Aaron Daniels a lot. He's a true martial artist. As I say, he's been doing martial arts since he was a kid. he's very well rounded. You know, he's comes from striking, but he's look at his record, the submissions.
Oh, submissions.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a great fight, you know, and
best of luck to the two of them.
Yeah, man, give these guys a follow on Instagram, support these fighters, true martial artists, the both of them. Click the link on their Instagram bios, click that pay-per-view, support them, and it's gonna be worth every bit of money that you spend on that. What we're gonna be talking about is the highly anticipated professional welterweight contest between Andreas Judica Binder versus Marcin Zimbella. What can I say about these two fighters, man? Two experienced guys here. Andreas, the former Clan Wars welterweight amateur champion.
And pro cage conflict champion.
And pro cage conflict welterweight champion. And Marcin Zimbella has a wealth of experience at professional and amateur level as well.
Yeah.
Team Shaolin MMA versus Team Torres. Good teams right there. Two high quality fighters. What do you think?
Oh, what I think about this fight is very interesting because the reality is I can speak on behalf of Andreas. He's a MMA fighter. Back in the past, it was like, yeah, he's judo black belt. He would have been fighting at middleweight against Glenn Irvine to the likes of fighting for UKFC titles over in England.
Yeah.
He's a madman.
Yeah.
He is a madman. There's nothing more I can say.
He's
like,
fought everybody.
down.
Like, yeah,
he's down for a scrap.
Yeah.
But the thing that I see more than anything about Andreas is, even though he's improved everything from striking jiu-jitsu, is his mindset. That's the biggest thing that this kid has in terms of like his attitude, in terms of wins and losses, and especially seeing the effect that he have in the gym and saying like, to me more than anything, I lost 5 in a row is like, is those amateur.
Yeah.
And it's those people like that. You need good training partners like that.
Yeah.
And he has them in abundance.
Yeah, his belief is next to none, you know, and
he's training with the likes of Ian Cochlin as well.
Yeah, and Creven Scrivens now. Creven Scrivens is also fighting on the Clan Wars 40 card as well. Yeah. So check him out, guys. Give him a follow.
And Ian Cochlin, black belt judo, black belt jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great addition to the gym. Our bigger guys in the gym is like, we have another high level grappler, black belt in the gym as well. So Andreas is going to be getting use of like that black belt welterweight jiu-jitsu. Yeah. But Ben, where do you see Marcin's game? What do you know about him?
Marcin is very well rounded. He's a southpaw, and he's kind of not, I wouldn't say he's exceptional in any one place. He's just very good everywhere.
He's a grinder.
You know? I think you have to be, as a professional, you have to be good everywhere anyway. Yeah. But in his fights, I don't see, he has submissions, you know, he has striking in his locker, although I don't see him finishing many people with striking. No. But no, he's a very well-rounded fighter, you know, and yeah, I think he's got a dangerous guillotine choke. I've seen him finish someone with a guillotine choke. He's got submissions in his locker. He's gonna be a good high level pro.
It's a good matchup though for the two of them. Is like Andreas only wants to fight the best, and Marcin, 3 and 4 records. Say what you want, is still a wealth of experience in the pro ranks. And fair play to Clan Wars for getting such a great matchup as well.
Yeah, Andreas is very well rounded as well. We know he's got high level wrestling, and he's got the judo background as well, but his freestyle wrestling all round is top notch these days. And his jiu-jitsu, he's worked very hard on his jiu-jitsu, and he's got knockout power. You've seen in his last amateur fight on Clan Wars, he became the Clan Wars welterweight champion. By knocking out Stu Mo Peter in the first round. He's a very tough game opponent as well. And then in his pro debut for Cage Conflict, he became the Cage Conflict welterweight champion by knockout as well. So we know Andreas can bang, you know, gonna be a great fight.
Make sure to buy, because what can we say, is gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, give both guys a follow on Instagram, and their pay-per-view links will be on their bio. So support these two professional fighters. Thanks for watching The Fighter's Insight. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Instagram page and our Facebook page, and also to our private pages on Instagram, Ben Davis MMA
and Porican in 95.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed our show, and we'll see you again soon for
On the Fighters Insight.
On the Fighters Insight.